If you see BTC in a Wyckoff reaccumulation, why would you ignore how Kaspa really adheres to a Wyckoff distribution schematic? Guys, this is something that we will try to figure out during this video. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, just a random dude out there sharing his opinions and thoughts on the market. So guys, we are going to talk about this situation in which Kaspa can actually enter into bear cycle. Okay, I will try to bring out very realistic outlook basically, okay, because I can say right away that I'm totally going to agree with the fact that this is how it looks like. Okay, so first of all, let's compare it, right? We've got our PSY whatever, right, which is basically the first you know, entering of the channel, creation of the channel, let's say, and then another pump that is basically BC. Okay, then the pullback which happened in here, and then roughly somewhere in here probably ST. We could argue that this ST is in here, but obviously I put it in here. This is not going to be perfect, guys. This is just a rough estimation to kind of, you know, figure out whether it actually aligns with the schematics or not. Okay, so we've got ST, then we've got UT, which I believe I forgot to put, but roughly in here, and then we've got basically, you know, the highest points, right, which is UTAD test whatever, which technically could be considered as this phase of the market, which is phase C. All right, and then we've got phase D, which is basically this, and then, you know, purple dump. So now technically we could see a couple of waves perhaps going towards the upside, and then probably something like this, and then what's the bear market, right? So this is something that I'm going to agree, this is how it looks like, right? Kaspa looks, well, could be definitely considered as Wyckoff distribution schematics, right? So that's the only thing that's pointing out that potentially Kaspa could start its bear cycle. But we also have to remember about one thing, okay? And one thing is that we are in a bull market. Let's actually go into different charts now to actually determine whether where is Kaspa, right? Why am I showing you these total charts, right, to actually figure out where Kaspa is? Okay, also we are going to look at different things. So first of all, let's have a look at total crypto market cap, that is excluding top 10 on a daily time frame. Okay, so this is everything that's excluding obviously BNB, Solana, and all of these top projects. So the previous all-time highs for, you know, the whole market cap was $493 billion, and that was in November 2021. All right, so that was our bear cycle in here, where Kaspa actually was thriving during this time basically. Then we saw the first pump, and, you know, the proper consolidation, and currently altcoins are in this well, formation, which I believe are going to, well, altcoins are going to break towards the upside sooner or later. Of course, we have to wait for, you know, certain catalysts that are going to arrive in order to, you know, to spike the price of altcoins and BTC and all of that, but we are going to get into that later. So obviously we are presuming that well, the whole market is presuming that, well, probably the first leg is going to be what, 367 billion, right? So we are going to anticipate this huge pump, and then, well, probably smashing through previous all-time highs for altcoins, and then new price discovery basically. So once altcoins are going to be over 499 billion USD, and, well, of course excluding top 10, then it's going to be expansion, right? So guys, the first thing that I'm going to look at is that I'm going to start panicking myself, for example, when altcoins are going to see this breakout, and then Kaspa is still going to be stagnating like it is. Then probably that's going to be something, well, that's not really juicy for Kaspa, right? But until altcoins are still in this formation, I'm not really worried. Of course, despite the fact that total, right, everything that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of that, this is still in a bull flag, guys. So everything is still going according to the plan on a macro perspective. In these conditions, I'm unable to pretty much say that Kaspa is, you know, going towards a bear cycle. This is something that I didn't want to mention on the channel, guys, because I totally agree that that's, you know, current Kaspa's price action looks like this. So that's the first thing. Another thing that we also have to pay attention to is basically Bitcoin's dominance that is in this rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. Quick shout out to the moon, by the way. So he's pointing that out that is a weekly time frame. Firstly, we have to actually experience the whole altcoin season and then see where Kaspa is at. Okay, so this is the long term for Kaspa, and of course, based on the technicals, also USDT dominance, guys. Remember that USDT dominance is currently printing the bear flag, which actually is escaping from. So the first level that I believe USDT is going to dip to is going to be 492. So let's actually anticipate this first move towards the downside forecast, for USDT dominance around 7%, whatever, and then if Kaspa isn't going to reclaim its previous highs, let's say, then we are going to obviously reevaluate the chart, so on and so forth. So now, guys, these were the technicals. Obviously I could pull out more technicals in here and all of that, but I know that you don't want to look at these things, right? Because it's kind of boring. Also, the overall interest for crypto and Bitcoin, it's at bear market lows, so that's another reason why Kaspa has a problem with liquidity and of course lack of listings, Coinbase, Binance, and all of that. Also, market is anticipating elections, guys, right? This is just a funny picture that I found of Kamala, whatever, but that's going to happen in 8 days. So until then, I guess we just have to wait. And also, guys, many bullish things are actually happening for Kaspa. We've got all of these meetings and all of that. Guys basically have a meeting and covering topics like developing a bleeding edge RSCV, whatever, things like that, for Kaspa, and deploying ZK EVM capable of supporting existing EVM projects, which potentially in the future can be a bullish, huge thing for Kaspa, basically. So that's that. And also, guys, we are in a situation where this bull market is actually going to start properly for BTC, and we still haven't experienced a proper altcoin season, basically. So that was just a pre-bull, I believe, what happened in March 2024 this year, and we are going to experience the second one, right? Also, another thing is that Kaspa is creating huge things in here, if it comes to transactions per second, because what guys said, basically, we've got huge amounts of transactions in here on Kaspa. I believe 15 million transactions in one day, which obviously is big, and Plan B is pointing out that Bitcoin is ready for the next phase transition. Another thing is that we've got KRC20, and finally we've got these meme coins, so the volume is increasing slowly but surely, I believe, for Kaspa. So now, guys, coming back to all of this, if you guys believe that Kaspa is going to go into the bear cycle, well, good for you, right? Of course, I could be wrong, guys. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. I've gathered, all of these informations, and I'm basically giving you my opinion based on what I see. So if you do believe that in the light of where we are in this cycle for BTC and overall crypto market pre-election, if you believe that Kaspa is going to go towards the downside, go ahead and sell everything. However, if you believe that Kaspa is going to see significant upside, well, I believe that these areas are probably, great areas of accumulation. So now, guys, let's talk about short term for Kaspa, because I believe that's also important. So we've got Kaspa on Binance on a daily, right? So now everybody is shorting Kaspa after such a violent move towards the downside. Obviously, I was mentioning in the previous updates, guys, that it's very likely that Kaspa could dip into these levels. It can actually go into 10 cents. And why? Because there is a problem with liquidity for Kaspa, right? There is not enough of liquidity for Kaspa, right? And the volume isn't as it should be, right? Meme coins have basically having more volume than Kaspa itself at this point. So we do have some liquidity in these areas of 11 cents, and I wouldn't be surprised if everything would be flashed, guys. I know how it sounds, but it definitely could dip into these levels of 9 cents for Kaspa, which is going to be obviously a huge level to which I believe many people are going to sell their bags, because if that 9 cents would happen, there will be 25%, well, 23% of dump for Kaspa, guys. And why do I think this is possible? Of course, I am not saying that this is going to happen, but it definitely could, because if I'm going to type BTC on 7 daily, this is what's going on, right? Everybody's longing, right? But if I'm going to zoom it out to 30 days, we can see that the whole market basically is longing BTC like crazy, $11 billion, okay, versus 4.1 for BTC, right? So if BTC is going to see such a dump, okay, to 61k levels, I believe, right, or something like this, before the proper parabolic run for BTC, then of course, you know, altcoins are going to be pushed towards the downside unless the dominance of BTC actually is going to drop. So guys, coming back to this schematic, this pattern provides insights into the distribution phase of an asset where institutional investors quietly unload positions before a significant price decline. So another thing is that Grayscale, you know, not long ago actually came out and said that they are considering to list Kaspa as their product, ETF, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Guys, also from the standpoint of actually top addresses, I don't think that whales are in control of Kaspa. So let's actually have a look at this. So we've got top 10 addresses that are owning 17% of Kaspa. Top 100 addresses that are owning 32% of Kaspa, and top 1000 addresses are owning over half of the supply of Kaspa. So guys, in these conditions, I believe it's not so easy for institutions, which I believe, of course, some of them might be in Kaspa, but I believe that it's not that easy for them to shake, you know, the price of Kaspa that easily because of the distribution of the supply between holders, which I believe is healthy by looking at these numbers. Of course, guys, I could be wrong. Obviously, Kaspa is the type of a asset that drives a lot of speculation because it's a new technology, so on and so forth. So just in general, if we are going to zoom this baby out, let's actually delete this thing, we could argue that basically Kaspa is just doing its own thing, and it's kind of, you know, resilient to, you know, to all of these schematics, right? But of course we can argue that non-asset is resilient to all of these schematics, guys. So guys, to conclude, I believe that this isn't the case, although I do confirm that this looks scary. I don't think that Kaspa is going to dip lower. Let's see. If it's going to go lower, then obviously I am going to have to say that I've got diamond hands because I'm not selling, I am waiting. Okay. And speaking about Kaspa's ecosystem, guys, we've got Nacho that currently is still, I would say, probably in a better buying position. And again, guys, I'm not inviting you to buy meme coin on Kaspa. Don't get me wrong. This is something that I've done a while ago. I put a little bit of money into Kaspa. If you want to degen into Nacho or anything else, actually, make sure that you check out my links for Pionex, US version and global version. Nacho is currently trading in US, which I believe is a big deal. But of course, you can purchase whatever the heck you want if you're interested. Anyways, guys, I hope that this kind of clears out the picture of Wyckoff distribution, and I hope that you have enjoyed this quick update. And as always, peace and love, crypto.